You should be growing sweet potatoes in your food garden, and today I'm going to tell you why. The reason why it's a great food source, it's a dual purpose food source. You know, as the plant is growing, you can harvest the greens and eat the greens like a stir fry. A lot of Asian dishes call for sweet potatoes as a stir fry. And then at the end of the season, you dig up these nice tubulars underneath the ground there that's full of all kind of vitamins and beta carotenes and are real healthy for us, packed full of all kind of nutrients, and they store well for several weeks after that. So it is one of the best dual purpose food sources we can grow in our food garden. Second reason is it fills a great slot in our garden where other things may not flourish as well. An example, a lot of our kale and our brassicas and all have come to the end of their life cycle. It's getting a little warm, so I've chopped them up, and I really don't have anything to fill that slot that's going to grow during the summertime and take all the heat. Sweet potatoes fills that slot right there. They love the heat, and you can plant them behind things in the brassica family. They are in the morning glory family, so they work with a great rotation there behind your brassicas or maybe your sweet peas or any of your legumes. These very few plants that flourish during our hot heat down here in the south. Okra is one that loves the heat, and sweet potatoes do as well. Now things like tomatoes and peppers and watermelons and cantaloupes and melons and all those kind of things are really going to struggle during those hot summer days. But these plants, okra and sweet potatoes, are going to love it. Now the question is, how do you grow them? You cannot grow sweet potatoes from seed. You have to have what we call slips. Slips are cutting off of the potatoes. Actually, what you do is you cut the vine off and you end up with a slip. Now, a friend of mine has a commercial sweet potato farm, and I went down there yesterday and I got some slips from him. He had planted sweet potatoes, I'm talking about the actual potatoes, in these rows about 2 to 3 foot wide, and covered them, and they sprouted and come up, and he has this machine to go in there and cut the vine. We call that slips. So if you've got sweet potatoes left over from last year, you can grow your own slips by simply putting sweet potatoes in the ground, let them sprout, come up, cut the slips, or you can buy sweet potato slips already, which is probably the easiest for most people. Now, sweet potato slips, when you plant these, are going to root out at the node. You see what I'm talking about right here, the node? That's where the roots are going to come out at. Now, this one right here, if I wanted to, I could actually cut in a couple of different places and get 2 to 3 slips off this one plant. I just need a leaf coming up to plant out of the ground there, but I'm going to plant this whole thing because I got plenty of them. Now you could simply lay it in the ground sideways like this right here and cover all those nodes up, or you could plant it like you would a regular plant and just stick it down in the dirt. If you do that, you got to make sure you get at least a couple of these nodes into the soil so these roots will sprout out. Okay, so we're planting sweet potatoes in the middle of the summertime for the growing season. So it is very important that you use drip tape there because it's probably going to be a dry summer and we need to keep those plants watered, and drip tape's the ideal way. These plants really get big and it's going to be hard to do overhead irrigation to get that moisture down in there because of the canopy of the sweet potatoes. So drip tape is important. Another reason we want to use drip tape is for fertilization. When these plants get big, it's going to be really hard to get the fertilizer down next to the row where we want it to be. So injecting that fertilizer into that drip tape is going to be a lifesaver there. If we were not using drip tape, I would want to band my fertilizer next to the line of potatoes I had before they started running. On plant spacing, we want to do 12 inches in row spacing, and I plant on every emitter, as you see right here. 12 inches seems to be the magic number there. And on row spacing, rows apart, 48 inches seems to be perfect also. Now I did something a little unique this year because I had these zinnias I needed to plant. So I come over 48 inches and planted me a row of zinnias. This is somewhat, some would say maybe some companion planting. My zinnias will be gone by the time these potatoes run all the way over here, and they'll have room to continue to grow there. So I'm going to give my potatoes plenty of room to grow, and then I'm going to have some zinnias to harvest before they get too big. Now, sweet potatoes are a little forgiving on the pH. The ideal pH for sweet potatoes is going to be 6.0, but if you got anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5, hey, I think you're going to be okay. Now, as far as N, P, and K goes, they're really not considered heavy feeders. They like about 2 pounds of N per 1,000 square feet over the growing season. So not real heavy feeders like a tomato or anything like that. But they do like potassium. So if you got a plot that is high in potassium, it's an ideal candidate for growing sweet potatoes to farm some of that potassium off of. They like a little phosphorus, not a lot. But if you don't know what your nutrient load in your soil is, I would recommend using a balanced fertilizer such as a 20-20-20. Now, days to maturity on most varieties is anywhere from 90 to 110 days. And I want to talk about the 3 most popular varieties. There are several different varieties out there. These purple ones, and I've got a few purple ones planted. But the 3 most popular varieties that I think are Beauregard, Covington, and Georgia Jet. Beauregard is one of the newer varieties, and for the home gardener, it is the most forgiving and easiest one to grow. So if you're a first-time sweet potato grower, Beauregard may be the one for you. Georgia Jets is an older variety that probably has the highest sugar content and probably has the most flavor to them. They don't grow the prettiest potato, but they grow a good eating potato. Now, Covington is one that I'm growing that's probably my favorite variety, and it is resistant to root knot nematode. And it is a newer variety, and it's easy to grow, not as easy to Beauregard, and it has good sugar content, maybe not as good as Georgia Jet, but it kind of is the best in the middle there. And it makes a nice uniform potato. A lot of your market farmers and your commercial farmers, they love this variety because it grades out well and makes a good potato. And I like that too. And plus, it is good to eat. So Covington is my choice to eat. However, don't disregard the Beauregard. I've grown it before. I like it. The Georgia Jets, I like them as well. But just my favorite variety happens to be the Covington. So let's talk about when and how to harvest. After about 100 days of babying those plants along, you're going to notice the vine is starting to die out just a little bit, and it's going to be time for you to think about harvesting those sweet potatoes. So you want to go out there and use your digging fork, and you want to harvest them pretty much the same way you do Irish potatoes. Dig them up, but you don't want to wash them, and you don't want to eat them as you dig them up. You've got to let these things cure out a few days. That carbs has got to convert to sugars. So as you dig them, you want to put them in a spot that's pretty warm, and it normally is that time of year when I harvest my sweet potatoes, 85, 90 degrees, and we normally have high humidity. So I'll just put them somewhere that's maybe out of direct sun and let them cure from anywhere from 7 to 10 days. At that point, you can start consuming them. You can start eating those. Those carbs have converted to sugars. Don't wash them, because if you wash them, you're going to introduce bad bacteria and they're going to spoil on you. They're going to store so much better if you don't wash them. Then I will store them just like I do my Irish potatoes and onions and things like that. I just put them underneath my barn where I got good circulation there, and they'll store for a few weeks, and we eat them up pretty well. Everybody loves good sweet potatoes. Sweet potato fries is all the rave now. I personally love them baked with some cinnamon and butter on them, but everybody's got their favorite way to consume sweet potatoes. It's a great food source for your food garden to extend into the fall and the winter and give you some good eating.